You know what hurts the most? Not when a woman lies to you, but when you can feel the truth sitting right there behind her eyes. And she refuses to let you in. Every man has been in that moment. You sit across from her, maybe in the car, maybe on the edge of the bed, and something inside whispers, she's not saying everything, not because she's evil, not because she wants to hurt you, but because the truth, for her, feels dangerous. Women don't hide the truth the way men do. Men hide facts. Women hide feelings. That's why you can ask her the same question 10 times, and she'll give you 10 different answers. None of them wrong, but none of them complete. You think she's defending the situation. But really, she's defending her emotions. It's like she's standing on the edge of a cliff, holding her heart in her hands, and she's terrified that if she gives it to you raw and unfiltered, you might drop it. See, a man's truth is straightforward. Yes or no. Yes or a woman's truth is layered like a secret language. She might say, I'm fine. But what she really means is, do you care enough to notice that I'm not? She might say, it's nothing. But inside, she's drowning in everything. And here's the hard part. The moment you push too hard, she shuts down. She feels interrogated. She feels judged. And that fear builds a wall faster than you can even blink. You've probably experienced that. The more intense you become, the quieter she gets. Your voice rises, her trust falls. You demand honesty, expecting clarity. But it only creates chaos. Because pressure doesn't squeeze the truth out of a woman. It buries it deeper. Women reveal the truth in calm, in safety, in connection. Think back to the times she confessed something real. It wasn't during a fight. It was during a soft moment. Maybe late at night, when the lights were off and she was curled into you like she wanted protection from the world. Maybe when she was smiling and suddenly her guard slipped, and she told you something she never planned to say. That's the pattern. A woman's truth isn't a lock you break open. It's a door she slowly decides to open for you. Let me tell you a story. A guy once told me about his ex. They fought all the time because he felt she wasn't being honest. Every time he sensed something was off, he confronted her. Strong, direct, demanding the truth like it was a test she kept failing. But after they broke up, months later, she admitted something unexpected. It wasn't that I didn't want to tell you. I just never felt emotionally safe enough to trust you with what I felt. That sentence hit him harder than any lie ever did. Because men assume that truth comes from proof. Women give the truth from trust. So if you want her honesty, if you want her heart, if you want the truth behind those guarded eyes, you don't force it. You create a space where the truth wants to come out. There's a specific psychological shift, a mindset you can carry, that turns you from an interrogator into a man she can open up to without fear. And once you understand it, she'll start revealing things she never told anyone. Even the truths she tried to hide from herself. But that secret, that shift, it starts with one simple realization. When she feels safe, she becomes transparent. You've probably noticed this already. The moments she's most honest with you are the moments you aren't even trying to get answers. When you're relaxed, joking, not reading her like a detective looking for the crime scene. That's when the truth slips out without her permission. See, a woman's honesty is emotional. Her truth is tied to how she feels about you in the moment. If she feels judged, she hides. If she feels misunderstood, she rewrites the story. If she feels unsafe, she'll give you the version of the truth that protects her, not the version that helps you. Imagine her heart like a flower at night. When the environment is cold, it closes. But under warmth, sunlight, and safety, it opens effortlessly. You don't have to peel the petals apart. You just create the right atmosphere, and nature does the rest. So how do you create that warmth for a woman? You must become the man she can come to with the truth, even when it's messy, emotional, or painful. Let me break down something powerful. A woman doesn't lie to you because she wants to deceive you. She lies because she is afraid of losing you, afraid of disappointing you, afraid of ruining the image you have of her, afraid of being too much or not enough. And that fear doesn't show up as fear. It shows up as defensiveness, as distance, as silence. You ask what's wrong. She says, nothing. Not because there's nothing, but because the truth feels risky. She doesn't know if you can hold it without dropping her heart on the floor. Here's a real example. A woman once told me it took her 3 years to tell her boyfriend that a certain guy made her uncomfortable. Not because she wanted to talk to that guy, but because she was scared her boyfriend would accuse her, punish her, judge her. So instead, she stayed quiet. She avoided the situation alone. She carried the weight inside her, because silence felt safer than honesty. Let that sink in. She hid the truth not to betray the man she loved, but to protect the relationship she valued. Men see truth as an obligation. Women see truth as a risk. And that difference changes everything. So here's what pulls honesty out of a woman better than any question ever could. Be emotionally unshakable. Not cold. Not numb. Not dismissive. Unshakable. The kind of man who listens without rushing to react. Who doesn't explode at the first uncomfortable detail. Who can handle what she confesses and still look her in the eyes with the same love and certainty. When she sees that, her fear loses power. Her guard weakens. Her truth becomes easier to share. You want her to trust you with the truth? Show her that telling you won't cost her the relationship, the peace, or the love she's trying to protect. Women reveal themselves to the man who can handle the parts they are afraid to show. But there's another layer. A deeper psychological pattern you must understand. Women communicate the truth more through behavior than words. Her silence has meaning. Her tone has meaning. What she avoids has meaning. How she looks at you versus looks away has meaning. If you can read those signals, you'll know her truth long before she speaks it. And the more you understand this hidden language, the less she'll feel the need to hide anything from you at all. You've probably felt it before. That quiet tension that enters the room before she even speaks. A shift in her energy. A pause in her smile. A tiny break in the connection you two share. Women rarely hide the truth with words first. They hide it with behavior. Most men look for the lie in what she says. The truth is almost always in what she avoids saying. Let's talk about the subtle signs. The ones she hopes you don't notice. When a woman is holding something back, her eyes give it away before her mouth does. She might look anywhere but at you when you ask a question. Like eye contact itself feels dangerous. Or she'll suddenly overcompensate. Excessive eye contact. Smiling too much. Laughing at things that aren't funny. Because when the inside is anxious, the outside often tries to look calm. Then there's the way she breathes. Shallow. Fast. Her body becomes a shield for the truth. She folds her arms, turns her body slightly away, protects her heart physically because she's protecting it emotionally. And pay attention to her hands, shaking, fidgeting, touching her hair or neck. It's not nervousness about you. It's nervousness about what you might discover. But here's the deepest sign of all. A sudden change in her usual patterns. Women are emotional storytellers. If she normally tells you everything, and suddenly she becomes quiet, that silence is a loud signal. If she usually wants your attention, but now she's distant, she's trying to avoid your eyes because your eyes see too much. If she becomes overly sweet, overly affectionate out of nowhere, sometimes that's guilt, not romance. Now let me be clear. These signs don't always mean she's lying or betraying you. Sometimes she's hiding sadness. Sometimes she's hiding insecurity. Sometimes she's protecting her heart from being misunderstood. The truth she's hiding could be, I feel disconnected. I'm scared I'm losing you. I don't feel good enough. I don't know how to tell you what's hurting me. But to a man who doesn't understand, all of those fears can look like betrayal. So instead of reacting to the behavior, respond to what the behavior is protecting. A man once shared this story with me. His girlfriend started acting secretive with her phone. Whenever he entered the room, she'd lock it instantly, flip it face down, keep it in her pocket. He assumed the worst. Accused her. Exploded with jealousy. Thought another man was involved. After weeks of fighting, he finally learned the truth. She wasn't texting another guy. She had been planning for months to surprise him with something personal, something vulnerable. A photo album of their memories together with a letter she didn't feel ready to show yet. Not cheating, not lying, just fear. Fear of being judged for caring too much. That day, he learned a powerful lesson. Sometimes what she hides isn't a threat, it's a wound. Or a gift she's scared to give. So when you sense she's hiding something, don't attack the silence. Don't interrogate the hesitation. Don't accuse the behavior. Become curious. Stay calm. Speak gently. Give her space without withdrawing your presence. Say something like, I feel like something's on your mind. Whenever you're ready, I'm here to listen. No pressure. That one sentence removes fear from the room. It tells her she doesn't need to fight or freeze. She can relax. She can trust you with whatever she's holding inside. Remember this. A woman doesn't open up when she's forced to. She opens up when she feels understood. But there's a final piece of this psychological puzzle. Something most men completely miss. If you want the truth from a woman, you must first tell yours. You set the emotional tone. You lead with vulnerability. You show her honesty is safe by going first. And once you do that, her truth doesn't just appear. It pours out. There's a moment in every relationship where the truth becomes a two-way street. Not just her opening up to you, but you opening up in return. Most men think being honest means admitting facts. Where they went, who they talked to, what they did. But for a woman, honesty isn't about facts. It's about feelings. A woman feels closest to a man when she knows what's happening inside him. Not the surface, not the tough exterior, but the internal world he rarely shows anyone. She doesn't fall for the things you say confidently. She falls for the truths you say quietly. The ones that sound like, I didn't like how that made me feel. I'm afraid of losing you. I want us to be good. I care more than I'm comfortable showing. When you share that part of yourself, you're giving her something real, emotional access. That's the moment she realizes you aren't going to punish her for being vulnerable, because you've already shown vulnerability yourself. But here's the mistake men make. They only want the truth when it's convenient, when the truth is flattering, when it makes them feel strong. Yet the real truths, the hardest ones, are the ones that make you uncomfortable. If she tells you something that stings, something imperfect, something human, and you stay calm, present, grounded, then she learns a powerful lesson about you. You are safe. Not because you pretend to be unbothered, not because you avoid conflict, but because you can feel everything without falling apart. That kind of man, he becomes her emotional home. Let me give you another example. There was a couple who struggled with communication. Every time she tried to express something real, he reacted like the world was ending. Raised voice, cold distance, silent punishment. So she stopped sharing. Not because she didn't have anything to say, but because telling the truth became too expensive. After months of tension, he finally realized the root problem. He demanded honesty, but he never made room for it. He wanted answers, but not the emotions that came with them. He wanted transparency, but without responsibility. So he tried something different. One night, instead of demanding to know what was wrong, he simply said, I feel like you're carrying something heavy. I want to understand you. I'm listening. She didn't respond at first, but her eyes softened, her shoulders relaxed. And minutes later, she started talking, and didn't stop for 2 hours. Not because he pushed, but because he finally gave her permission to let go. And here's what you need to understand. Women don't share the truth to seek solutions. They share to feel seen. If she opens her heart and all you give her are answers, logic, and fixes, she'll close up again. But if she opens her heart and you give her presence, understanding, and patience, the truth becomes a habit. Now, there's still one more thing standing between you and the full truth from a woman. her past. No matter how good you are, no matter how. Her trust in you is filtered through every man who hurt her before you ever arrived. And until you learn how to handle those old wounds the right way, she'll still be guarding parts of herself you haven't been allowed to see. Every woman you meet carries a history inside her. Some chapters she's proud of, others she prays no one will ever read. There are moments she gave her heart to the wrong hands, times when she told the truth and got punished for it, times she trusted and was betrayed, times she opened up and got broken. You aren't just dealing with her, you're dealing with everything that shaped her before you. Her walls weren't built overnight. Someone taught her that being honest can hurt more than hiding. Someone taught her emotions are weaknesses. Someone taught her that being too real means being left behind. So when she hesitates with you, when she hides parts of her heart, when she chooses silence instead of truth, don't take it personally. Take it as a sign of how much she once cared and how much it cost her. A woman who doesn't care has nothing to hide. No fear, no hesitation, no emotional barriers. But a woman who cares deeply, that's the one who hides the most. Because the truth she's afraid to say is usually the truth that matters the most. Your mission isn't to break her walls. Your mission is to make those walls unnecessary. You become that man when you understand one powerful principle. Your presence must feel like peace, not pressure. You don't chase answers. You don't demand confessions. You don't turn every insecurity into an argument. You show her that no matter how dark the truth is, your light won't flicker. A woman reveals the deepest truth when she's sure you won't use it against her. So when she finally shares what's been locked away, you don't criticize. You don't mock. You don't say, "Why didn't you tell me sooner?" You simply look at her and show her with your calm that the truth only brought you closer. Because beneath every fear, every lie of protection, every wall she tries to hide behind, there is a simple desire. She wants to be understood. Not decoded, not analyzed. Understood. Here's what separates you from every man before you. You don't punish vulnerability. You reward it. You don't weaponize honesty. You honor it. You don't make her regret opening up. You make her grateful she took the risk. And when she feels that, really feels that, the truth stops being something she hides. It becomes something she wants to share. The truth becomes the bond, the trust, the intimacy, the connection. She stops filtering her words. She stops rehearsing her answers. She stops fearing your reaction. She looks at you like a safe place, like home. That's when a woman gives you everything. Not just the polished version of herself, but the raw, real, unfiltered heart she keeps hidden from the world. So if you remember nothing else from this entire message, remember this. A woman does not confess when she is questioned. She confesses when she feels safe. You earn the truth not by force, but by presence, by patience, by being the one man who doesn't turn her vulnerability into regret. You want the truth from a woman? Be the man who can be trusted with it. Because once she knows that honesty doesn't cost her the relationship, she'll give you more truth than you ever asked for.